I remember one time I was on the HMS Bounty. We had done a thing in Chicago here, this is back about 1990 or so, and our next gig was in Detroit. And so we were sailing up over the top through the Straits of Mackinac to get down to Detroit. And the HMS Bounty is a 300-year-old recreation of the original ship. It's the one that was used in the second, well actually it was the seventh Bounty movie, but the one with Marlon Brando in it. And in actual fact, that thing was built from the Admiralty plans, so it was pretty accurate. But anyhow, so we're sailing up through the Straits of Mackinac, which is a fairly narrow body of water, all things considered. Now, on the modern tall ships, I mean, these ships look old, but most of them have been built in the last 20, 30 years. And the Coast Guard does require you to have engines and radio and radar and, you know, all that good safety stuff. So we were going through the Straits of Mackinac downbound, which is heading into Lake Huron. And I was at the helm, steering the boat, about 4 o'clock in the morning. It was kind of foggy, it was real dark. And my forward watch, Big Jim, came back, took a look at the radar, and we saw this great big blip on the screen. And he said, you know, the whole object of radar is kind of like a video game. You don't let any of the other blips get to the center. Just checking to see how many sailors we had here. Okay, anyhow, so we got on the radio and we said, upbound ship, upbound ship, upbound ship. We were the HMS Bounty, JQS 326, I think it was, downbound through the Straits of Mackinac. We have you on screen like that. We'll be passing in a little while. And they came back at us, yeah, we're the J.I. Case or something, upbound. It was one of these great big carrier ships. So we were talking back and forth on the radio in the dark, in the fog, and after about 20, 30 minutes, the guy on the other end says, well, we should make visual contact any second. What the is that? As our 200-year-old replica ship comes rolling out of the fog. I just love that kind of thing. And, you know, so I just had to write a song about it. Like I said, this was 1990. I still haven't gotten any royalties from Disney on the idea. When you're standing watch on a foggy night, the hour is late and there's no moonlight. When the rum is warm and the air is cold, makes you dream of the ships of old. Then the Dutchman goes a-sailing. Well, you hear a creak and you hear a groan and you strain your eyes looking o'er the foam. There comes a ship from across the way, sent from hell and a salty grave. When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, she's an old square rig running up ahead with her sails full blown and they look blood red. Her blackened spars fill your heart with dread. The ship's a ghost with a crew so dead. When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, then you swear to the stars that your eyes can lie, for the ship she holds up into the sky. The skeleton crew gives an eerie cry, shivers your soul as she passes by. When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, sight and the tale relate of a ship that flies and her ghostly crew. The pirate shades calling after you when the Dutchman goes a-sailing. Then the captain speaks in a solemn tone, there's such a ship with blackened bones, a crew from hell and her sails aflame. The Flying Dutchman, it is her name. When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, on this foggy night, did she call to you? Did you have a fright? Did she run full sail but against the wind? Or is this be a tale made of rum and gin? When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, or if it be rum, you're a drunken sot. If it be gin, then you lie a lot. If it be true, to God pray thee, we're the next to be lost at sea. When the Dutchman goes a-sailing, when you're standing watch on a foggy night. The hour is late and there's no moonlight, when the rum is warm and the air is cold, makes you dream of the ships of old. Then the Dutchman goes a-sailing